Hi. Thank you for coming by. My name is Tori Christman, Tori Magoo 44 on YouTube and TikTok. And just so you know, I was in Scientology for 30 years. I know that sounds like a long time for a lot of people, and it was, but there was no internet when we were in. I got in 1969, which is before many of you were even a thought. And then I woke up in 2000 and escaped out. And right around then, we were getting into the internet. So a lot of the stuff that a lot of people know on the internet was not around. We had no access to it because Scientology is very good at, you're not allowed to, I couldn't talk to my guest. She couldn't talk to me if we were both in, on anything negative at all. So anyway, let's introduce her. This is Scooter. Hi, welcome.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And tell me where you're from, if
I
you
am
want.
from Toronto, Canada,
Oh, wow.
and
Cool.
I am a Tori Christman fangirl, and I can't tell you how excited I was when Kelly emailed me. I was like, ah! And I don't generally do that. So
Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you. Well, thank you for being a supporter. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. It does.
well,
I've had people that have been online for years, and it's really wonderful. I mean, I think most people don't realize how much it means to us, at least to me, but it really means a lot. It does. And look at a bunch of people popped in. JB808 is here. Hey, welcome. All right. And AGT Mom. All right. And we super genius. Okay. I always wonder, is that a group of people? We super genius?
yeah,
Is it?
I don't know. I
I don't
honestly
know.
have no idea.
Okay.
But I mean, it could also be the royal we.
True. Yeah, that could be it. So anyway, we're sending you hearts, JB808 and Kelly. Kelly is my moderator and also from Canada. And oh man, 694. I don't know how to say that. Do you know how to say that?
Wait. Oh, Amy M. That's
Oh,
Amy M.
Amy M. Oh, that's much better. Hi, Sieglin. Oh, good. Thank you for coming in the chat, all of you. It's always good to have people here. It's so hot here. It's so funny. Someone just was in before we started, and wherever they are, they were just out shoveling snow. And I
Hmm.
have on the air conditioner. Is this loud? I forgot to turn it off, Kelly.
No,
Should I?
it's
It's okay.
it's
Okay.
fine to me. Mind you, I have the fan on my air conditioner because it's always very warm in my room. But
Yeah.
we have wet snow going on here. So,
Really?
yes.
Ah, because a lot of places don't that usually do. My brother lives in New Mexico, and they have no snow.
Hmm.
Excuse me. So, how did you get involved with this? Tell us.
Well, I feel like I was almost directed to it gradually. It's kind of a long story. I will try to make it shorter. Um, Back in the 70s, when I was in high school still, someone actually got into our apartment building and was selling Dianetics door to door.
Oh God.
And I've always been a bookworm, and I went, okay, and bought the book. Now, thankfully, he never came back.
Right.
Or at least if he tried, he couldn't get into the building. So,
Right.
but I tried to read the first chapter. I don't even know how many times, and it just did not make any sense to me at all. I didn't understand a thing. Come to
Right.
realize later on, okay, that's normal.
Right. Right.
So, and I didn't know Dianetics was Scientology. I just knew this
It
was
wasn't.
a weird book.
It wasn't originally. It was just Dianetics, and then
Right,
then he moved into the Church of Scientology.
right.
So you're
So,
correct.
um, around somewhere in the 2000s, probably right around the time that Tom Cruise did his jumping thing
With
on
Oprah.
Oprah's couch, I was like, oh, Scientology. But I still didn't make the connection between the book and Scientology.
Sure.
I was like, that's not a selling point for me. Somebody jumping up and down on the couch and looking
No,
crazy is nope.
no.
And I somewhere along the way, my daughters introduced me to YouTube because I'm a Gen Jones, which means I'm between Boomer and Gen X. So I need younger people to introduce me to technology, even though I could work a computer. I didn't understand the internet or a need for it. Um,
Me too. Me
but
too.
so they introduced me to YouTube because I had at this point I was already online, but I didn't really use it for a lot.
Now, time out just for a minute. Let me just check because
Yep,
someone is saying, Amy M is saying she doesn't hear anything. Now, you're hearing it, right?
I'm
You're
hearing
hearing,
you. Is
okay,
everybody
Kelly,
else in the chat hearing us?
is there anyone else that isn't hearing me? Because I just need to know. Otherwise, it's something with your settings, Amy, unless other people can't hear me. I just have to make sure. Tori Magoo, Amy was talking about your fan. Okay,
Oh,
good.
she doesn't hear the fan. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
God,
Good.
thank you,
Okay.
Amy. And thank you, Kelly. Okay, good. Sorry to interrupt. I apologize. I just didn't want
No,
everybody to
that's
miss
fine.
your story. Okay,
No,
so go
that's
on.
fine.
So go on.
So, yeah, so I learned about YouTube and I started watching videos and eventually I started stumbling onto YouTube videos. And I don't remember if I had stumbled onto YouTube videos or an interview with Jenna, but somewhere around that time, I learned about Jenna and I learned about her book. So I bought her book and I read her book. And I was, first of all, it was such a really well written book
Right.
that I was really impressed. But also, she gave me so much information and also tied in the link between Dianetics and Scientology. So then I was
Right.
like, oh, okay. And then my one of my daughters and I watched the entire series of Scientology in the Aftermath with Leah and Mike.
Right.
Um, so that gave us even more information. And then I continued watching more and more YouTube videos because, of course, you start watching one topic and YouTube throws you a whole bunch more on that topic.
Right.
Um,
And especially Scientology.
and
It's like on and on and on.
Exactly. It's the typical YouTube rabbit hole. Um, and then I guess a little after the pandemic, I'm thinking it's probably 2.5 so years ago, I started seeing people out protesting. Keep in mind, I still did not understand that YouTube now had live chatting on live streams. I did not understand this. I thought it was all pre-recorded still.
Me too, until 2 years ago. That's when I learned about live stream. I was
Yes,
just making videos and putting them up, making videos and putting them up. And then COVID
exactly.
happened for me, and there was nothing to talk about Scientology. And by the time COVID ended here, a lot of the people online had learned how to, put here's Hemet, California, and put a picture of it, and here's Scooter, and stuff like that. I didn't know how to do that, so I thought, all right, I'm done. And then my
Right.
friend Andrew said, okay, type in Jessica Palmadessa on YouTube, and I said on TikTok, and I said, Andrew, I don't do TikTok, and he said, Tori, you're gonna love this, and he lives right down the street from the testing center. So he'd driven by there many times and seen them, and will, and oh my God, that was it for me. I was like,
Yeah,
I got to learn how to
exactly.
do this. This is a riot.
Yeah. So I started seeing those videos.
Yeah.
Um, and then There's a lady named Kim who lives in the Toronto area. She started going out to what was then the rental Scientology org here in Toronto, and I recognized the area that
Did
she
you
was
say the
in.
rental?
I'm sorry?
Did you say the rental?
Yes, they use a rental building. They still own the one on Yonge Street in downtown Toronto, but they've let it fall into disrepair.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, yeah, so we called it the rental org. Um, so I saw her out there posting flyers, and she would be out there in the early mornings. And like I said, I recognized the area, and I went, "Oh, I know where that is. I could go out there."
There you go.
Because I was almost chomping at the bit. The only thing was I wasn't sure if I really wanted to be going online. And then I thought, but it's safer to do it with it at least,
We
this
found
stream
out.
going out.
Yeah.
And at just at that point where I discovered Kim was when I also discovered that we had this thing called live streaming.
I know, because I was there. Same thing.
So yeah, that's literally how I got started. I met up with um, three other people on LRH's birthday 2, 3 years ago. I'm not even sure now. This is
I think it
2026.
was two
I
years
think it was
ago. I think it was 2 years
2023.
ago. Yeah.
2 years ago. Yeah, it could be. I have absolutely no idea anymore. Time is weird for me. So but anyway, yeah, we met up on his birthday, well, for his birthday celebration
Right.
outside of Scientology's birthday celebration.
Right.
And that was my first live stream, and I have been involved in it ever since. I just don't go out and protest now, but
Hmm.
I found a way to stay involved.
Good. Good. That's the thing. I love the critics. Critics meaning people that were never in, but they're
Mhm.
so creative in so many ways. I mean, I think the first one that I met had gone to. This was back when the bookstores were really popular and people were still buying books in 2000. And
Mhm.
this guy took. There were only like 4 or 5 big websites, but he made little bookmarks with those websites on them. Xenu.net and stuff like that.
Yes.
And he put them in every Dianetics book and every self-analysis book in
Oh,
every
wow.
bookstore. And I thought, now that's very great, very helpful. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And I wouldn't have thought of it. I wouldn't have in a million years. But
Yep.
it's really valuable, and that's the kind of thing where you can think of things that you like that you can do, and it helps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really does. So, yeah. So when I pivoted from protesting, um, I had been in conversation with a few other people in the movement at that point, and we were talking about how, as much as we loved what Natalie was doing with her morning recaps,
Oh yeah.
um, we felt like because there were so many channels, a lot of the smaller channels weren't getting the attention that we wanted them to get, because to grow the channel, to get more eyes, you need to have more support.
Right.
And I was saying, yeah, like there should be somebody who does just a recap on the smaller channels. And I kept hearing back, yeah, you should do that, Scooter. And I'm like, wait, no, I did not mean me. I was just saying someone should.
You do it.
Yes, I
That
turned
used to
out to
happen to
be
me
that
all the
someone.
time. People would say, "Here's an idea. Why don't you do it, Tori?" And I'd say, "Here's the deal. You thought of the idea. You do it." Because it's like, I've made over 1,000 videos, just videos alone, without live streaming and everything. And
Yep.
I've spent 25 years speaking out. So I started getting other people. It was like, well, I know you think I should do it, but I think you should do it.
Yeah.
It's a
Yes.
good team effort. It really is.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say one thing. Eric's came on, and his mother was in the hospital a few days ago. So, Eric, I'm glad
Oh,
to hear that your mom is, it sounds like she's better. And please pass on our love to her.
yes.
Scooter's doing a great job showcasing smaller channels. I didn't realize there were as many until I saw her lives. That's from
Aw,
JB808.
thank you, JBO 808. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for doing that because it is really important, and
Yes, although
it's
I mean, we currently we do have less smaller channels, um, which is, in my opinion, it is sad. I mean, there are a multitude of reasons as to why, but I will keep trying to plug those who are really trying to end the abuses of Scientology. I'm very I have my own boundaries, and I lay them out at the beginning of each show that I do, so that everybody is clear on who and why I will feature certain people. Um, I I don't get into I usually don't get into the drama of
no,
the
I don't
background
either.
stuff.
I
That's not
haven't
what I'm
for
here for.
25 years, and I'm just like, I mean, remember, I lived through 8 years of them. There were only four of us that had our names and phone numbers, and they were attacking us religiously. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. But it's kind of like Jesse Prince taught to me, and you've heard me say this. Step away from the stove,
Yep.
and because he said, Tori, their target is to drive you insane. That is their goal. And I used to
Yep.
run the program. This is Jesse. So I
Mhm.
know what I'm talking about. It's called psychological warfare. They're trying to drive you insane. So just if it gets weird, just step away from the stove. There's nothing they can do as long as you don't say anything. I'm not saying don't say anything, but at that time when it gets to be too much, where it's just like,
Yeah.
just too much, just step away from the stove.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a good lesson to learn in life in general
Yeah.
because
It
that,
is.
that can happen in arguments, where people are like, "Bah, bah, bah," it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't usually have, knock on wood, I don't usually have arguments with other people. Um, I mean, there's, maybe been the odd issue that someone will have had with me, and that's fine. I know I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine with me. Um,
but they
and
don't need to pick on their.
not everyone is my cup of tea. Uh, but other than that, it's just the witnessing of conflicts going on within the movement.
Right.
When it starts to get on my nerves and it starts frustrating me, I just think, well, if it's bothering me, and I've got a pretty good thick skin for just ignoring that stuff,
Right.
then it's probably bothering others. And so that's usually when I bring out the mom in me who is always like right here, really
Right.
close to the surface. And I
Right.
end up saying something about it on my show, just saying, look, like, enough of this stuff. You are not helping anyone and you are bringing it down. We need to get back to the goal. You know,
Yeah.
that's the short version of what I'll say.
Well, thank you.
And not
Thank you.
everybody appreciates it when I do that, but
Ah,
I'm me and I'm not going to be anybody but me. So I'm going to keep doing it when I feel I need to.
exactly. I mean, I've had that for years and years and years. It's like persistence and determination. I mean, I have a whole little quoted thing that I have framed, and but it says persistence and determination. There's great artists, there's great writers, but many of them quit. But the key thing is persistence and determination beats everything. And it's like just keep going. That's the thing. And whatever you have to do to keep going, if it's take a break, go away, just make funnier things, or whatever you want to do. But whatever you do, it's like it's really important. Like they said, there someone T from Down Under said she's happy that I'm um putting showing some of the smaller channels, but I'm happy you are. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing. And see, they can't
Absolutely.
win as long as we're talking. See, that's something that I know from working with them. It's like they
Right.
can't win as long as
Yeah.
we're here. That's all we have to do is stay here. There's nothing else. I mean, if we, every person that posts on here is like a heart attack for them. It's like, oh my God, how many people are on here? There's 37, 36. Wait a minute. What is somebody just left because I said that? What was that? An OSA person? But it's like I have a very small group compared to some of these big channels, but I don't care. I like the people that are here. It's a good group. We don't get into all the drama and stuff. And so I know I get it. Drama sells. They make a lot more money. I hardly
Yeah.
make any money. But
I
that's
don't make
okay.
any.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the way it is. But you know what? It's a good thing. We're doing a good thing. And that's important, I think. And I know you do too. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there you go. Do you
Just a
have any
little ways
kids?
up there. Yes, I do. I have two 40-year-old daughters.
Oh, and I have a 48-year-old son. He's almost 50. It's
Mhm.
amazing. But what a
Yes.
dream. I mean, I love I I love being a mom. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
actually think I would enjoy it as much as I do because, I mean, I could deal with kids, no problem, but yes, twins, Amy. But,
You do?
I wasn't sure that I was cut out to be a mom, and, um, I mean, I'll just say that I've heard from enough people who have actually met my daughters, that apparently I did a good job. So,
You did. I'm sure you did, because it's like there isn't an apparently. If people are, saying your kids are good kids, they're good kids, and that means you did a good job. And there's Weight Watchers taught me this because I used to sell jewelry all around town years ago,
mhm,
and I found every woman, almost every woman. I don't know how it is in Canada, but here in America, you cannot give a woman a compliment. You say, "Oh, I like your lipstick. Oh, this is really old. Oh, I like your blouse. Oh, I've got to get a new one. Oh, your nails are really pretty. Oh, I've got to get them redone." Just all the time. And I was 100 pounds overweight. I was like huge, and I joined Weight Watchers. I'd done every diet in the world, and I realized I don't even know how to eat for one day and be happy at night. So I joined
mhm.
Weight Watchers to learn how to eat. And that's the first thing they taught me. They said, if somebody says a compliment to you, just say thank you. That's all. And I
Yeah,
realized I had to really start thinking about it. And I thought, we as women, at least in America, were raised, for women, it's like, don't brag, don't be too bold. And men, it's like, stand up straight, put your shoulders back, walk in the room, you own the room. It's amazing the
right. And
difference.
we're
And here we
supposed to
are,
shrink. Yes,
right, right. And, just be quiet. Don't, stand over in the corner.
right, right.
But
Yeah,
now it's
no,
really,
I agree with you, and yes, I have had people over the years tell me, "Just accept the compliment," and there are times where I literally freeze and I can't get the words "thank you" out, and I just like, my lips just seal and I don't say anything. Most of the time, though, I'm able to at least just say "thank you."
good. And at least you hear it. So that's good. You know, whether you can say thank you or not, you get it. And
Yeah.
that's really important because a lot of people don't get it. Hey, June. Hi. Hi, Anonymom. I know I've missed a bunch of people saying hi. I have a hard time talking. Sunrise Joy, learn daily. Wow. I always tell my mom she did a good job with me. Ah,
Hi,
see,
Sunrise.
that's a nice thing. That's a nice thing to do. One Love says, being a mom is my favorite thing too, and mine are in their 30s. Good. Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I still do. I love my son. You know, he was burned out of the fire, one of the fires here in LA.
Yes. I watched you through that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary. Because they had the 100-mile-an-hour winds. Do you know the name Larry Wallersheim?
I've heard of it. I can't connect it with something.
He sued the church and won $8 million. So it was a big deal for them back in the 80s. And they had all of us down at the courthouse, not one thin dime for Wallersheim. And we had to
Right.
wear
Okay.
dimes on every day. We had to wear our dime. And, you know, it's really stupid. But anyway, he told me, you know, now I'm out, he's out. And he told me, he sent me a thing about the environment. And apparently these 100-mile-an-hour winds are going to be a norm very soon. So
Yeah.
that's what scared me because of those big trees outside. I thought I'm going to turn on my live stream and then at least I have some witnesses.
Sunrise, do I have an accent?
Do you? Do I? Did I say
No, do
that?
she said I that she loves my accent. So I said, "What? I have an accent?"
Wow,
I know I
I
have
don't
a
hear
very
it.
Canadian accent.
Is it? I don't hear it. I don't. All right, now let's see.
It's the way we pronounce some of our words like I mean, the typical ones that are stereotypical are a boot, which I do
Oh,
not say.
right.
I say about.
Okay.
Gotcha, JB808.
Say about.
Yeah, there are a few words that we say a little differently, and it
Right.
really brings out our Canadian isms.
Right.
And sorry, yes, we say sorry when you say sorry.
I know it's funny, different accents. I don't know if you ever saw me. Excuse me. When I first met Mark Bunker, it was in I think either 99 or 2000, and
Mhm.
I was still in. And OSA said, "Look, just go out and get rid of that guy," because they were having a Fourth of July party. So I went out there, and he was with an English guy with an English accent. And she said, just go with him. And he was like, hello, how are you? And I was like, so I go over to Bunker and we're like, hello, how are you? You know, and of course I'd get mad and then I'd start talking like how I regularly talk. And and it's such a funny video because it just shows. And the same thing happened to me in Norway. I went to Norway to help Andreas and they had me on Good Morning Norway. And if you ever want to hear something funny, type in Good Morning Norway with Tori Chrisman. It's hysterical. And
Oh, I
I
bet.
really didn't know. And I flew all the way back and got on ARS. And someone said, Magoo, what happened to you? And I said, what are you talking about? And they said, listen to you. And I said, I haven't heard it yet. So they played it. And I was like, oh, dear God. It was so embarrassing. So I called up Andreas and I said, please tell me I didn't talk like that while I was there for a week. And he said, you did.
You know what, though? The same thing happened to me when I was 12. My mother
Wow.
and I went to England to spend Christmas with my grandparents, and I came home with a British accent.
Yeah, I know. They're very it's easy to catch it. Someone on ARS explained that to me. She said some people, oh wait, uh-oh, what happened? Do you see me?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay, all right. Okay, here you are. Okay, wait. Shoot. I don't know what I tapped on. Okay, let's just tap on. There we go. There you are. Okay.
Okay.
So she explained that some people, and I was like one of them, are like chameleons. So wherever you go, if someone has an accent, you kind of take it on. But
Yeah.
because she educated me on it, now when I go somewhere, I really pay attention and I don't do that.
Oh,
'Cause- I mean, you go listen to Tori Crispin and Good Morning Norway, and you'll see. Oh my God! I
oh,
mean,
absolutely. I need to.
they
I need to
they,
now.
they made fun of me forever. It was like,
I'll bet. Yep.
yeah. All right. So Voice Down Under says, I think it's called something like a sympathetic accent.
Sympathetic accent. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Woo.
I didn't know that. I'd never heard about it, and it
I
was
hadn't
embarrassing.
either, but it makes sense.
Tori's English accent is the best. That's from a Voice Down Under. I love English accents. I would love to have one. I really would. Someone was going to do a book for me, and he told me, well, it's going to take me forever to get your Chicago accent down. And I was like, what are you talking about? Do I have a big Chicago accent? I do?
I wouldn't say that it's big, but I hear it because
Really?
I'm not from the States, so I do hear the differences in the
Wow.
different regions and the way things are said. But yeah.
I don't mind. I've never, I mean, I know guys like the Mafia, they have that very strong, like The Godfather and stuff like that. They have very strong accents. And they used to live by me, by the way. That's how I figured out Scientology was the Mafia. And when I escaped out, I started typing on ARS, Scientology is like the Mafia. And the critics all jumped on me and said, stop calling them the Mafia. You're giving the Mafia a bad name.
Kelly said that she's got the link. Did you want her to play it to your?
Oh God! All right, a little bit, not much, not much. It's pretty. It's pretty awful. I think you have to scoot it along
Tori
to get to.
Crispin, it's very nice meeting you.
You can. But the truth is, you can leave, but you cannot talk about it.
Right.
And I left on the internet.
And what happens if you leave?
Well, they chase you. They come to your house. They've written thousands of things about me on the internet. You can look up my name. There's all kinds of nasty things they've written about me for 6 years.
And you lost all your friends.
I lost all my friends overnight, and my husband of 27 years divorced me like that because I changed my mind. And that's what Andreas asked me, and I can't thank him enough for that. He said, what kind of friends could those be if they're going to leave you because you change your mind?
But we got these celebrities into this community, and as Tom Cruise and John Travolta,
Yes,
and are they brainwashed, or what would you say?
I would say they're completely brainwashed. I was the same. I believed it 100%. It's a bit like the Truman Show where you can't see the walls. You're insulated. They make sure you're insulated. They have their own private entrance, their own parking lot, their own course room. It sounds unbelievable because obviously they're out and about. But as far as Tom Cruise, could he come talk to me? No. Would he come talk to me? No. I've invited him many times on media. Come talk to me. I'd be happy to sit and talk to him. Will he? No. Will any of my friends? No, because they can't. It's a high crime in Scientology to speak to someone like me.
We're going to translate just a little bit.
Okay.
Det Tori sier at hun var da med
the rest is Norwegian.
30 år. Hun hadde alle vennene sine der. Hun var gift med et medlem av Scientologikirken. Når hun da bestemte seg for å hoppe av, hvilket var en kjempestor avgjørelse, så ble hun truet av sine...
Kelly, I think we can 86 it now. Kelly?
Yeah, I could hear it.
Yeah. It's not, if you listen to the whole thing, I mean, it really surprised me because I just had no clue that I was doing it at all. And thankfully, that lady was on and explained the thing that the other person said, the sympathetic
Sympathetic
accent.
accent. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It does because you're kind of sympathetic to the group. Anyway, it was a fun time, and in Norway, they were trying to get Andreas fired from his company at the time. So that's why
Oh,
he said, "Come over and maybe we can do talk." So I'm going around talking to these young kids, inviting them to come to the talk, and they're like, "Scientology? I don't know what that is." And I'm like, "You don't know what Scientology is?" And they're like, "No, I've never heard of it." And I said, "It's Tom Cruise and John Travolta." Oh, okay, we know. No, we're not interested. And I had said to Andreas, "I want to go see Scientology here." And he goes, "In Oslo." And he goes, "Why? It's just a doorbell." You're CIA. You know they said that about me, right? That's what someone sent
Yep.
me this hat too. This is my CIA hat.
That's a great hat, by the way. And it
Isn't
looks
it?
fabulous on you. I love it when
Thank
you
you.
wear that.
I know. I like it too. It's just it's echoey in here if I
Sure.
talk, but I can hear you.
Well, good.
But you heard the story about them calling me a CIA, right?
Yes, I did. I did. I think that's
Unbelievable.
absolutely hilarious. Yeah.
JV808, you are too funny. Yeah, that was unbelievable. And they lost $5,000 that night. I mean, I called the guy the next day. I said, they didn't come out and get, because see, in the old days, we would have gone out there. It didn't matter. If it was 2 a.m, we'd be out there getting the money. So I called him the next day and I said, they didn't come out there, did they? And he goes, nah. And he said, I'm going to Japan. I'm done with this. Now, what does this say? Sympathetic accent syndrome is mirroring is the unconscious tendency to mimic the accent, speech patterns, or mannerisms of the person one is conversing with. Nothing to do with actual sympathy. Okay, good. Thank you.
Thanks,
Oh,
T.
yeah, thank you, T. Yeah, see, she used to do it too. I think you can train yourself out of it just by learning about it. I think you probably half of it is cut out.
I haven't tested the theory since since England, so I have no idea.
We went up to Toronto. One of the professors flew a bunch of the, ex-Scientologists up there. Were you there for that?
I heard that story, but no, I
It was
wasn't aware enough at the time. But
okay. It
I
was,
mean, I've been in Toronto, so I probably was in Toronto at the time, but I
yeah.
wasn't at the function.
Well, bless his heart. It was really kind of him to do it. All right,
Mhm.
now Amy M694 says, my mother lost her Massachusetts accent because my father teased her.
Aw.
That'll do it. That'll do
Yeah.
it.
Hmm. My mom didn't stop drinking tea because my dad called it dirty water, so I guess not the same.
Really? Is that a
Yes.
true story?
Yes, it really is.
Funny. How funny. Our parents. Oh my God.
No, my mom also still has a British accent. It's not as strong as it was many years ago, but she still has it.
Oh, that's nice. I can't believe you didn't get it.
No, 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 I just got the whole Toronto accent.
Tori, you should use that accent here on your live and we could understand you like in that interview.
Oh, that you should use the accent here in your live. And then we would
But you
understand
guys
you
aren't,
like
you're not talking Norwegian. You have to have someone to mirror.
Yeah.
I mean,
49ers, no, I was never a Scientologist.
yeah, I could do the British accent because that one I know. That was funny when Anonymous flew Bunker and I over to England to protest with them,
Hmm.
and these were mostly younger kids. They all had this new lingo that a lot of us know now, but we didn't know then. And they had they had these huge accents. I mean, really huge, not just British accents, but I don't know whatever. We went out, we would protest in the day, and then at night we'd be in a bar with them, and they'd be like talking away, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. I'd look over at Bunker and I'd say, "What?" And he'd go, "I don't know." We couldn't understand them, but it was fun, and Britain is so different than America. I mean, here, the police side with Scientology, but there, no dice, man. We had half the street with Anonymous, and Scientology had, or the public had the other half. Question, Scooter, what have you learned from your experience as a moderator on YouTube? That's from Critic Cinema.
Cricket, as you well know, I have learned that there are a lot of personality types on YouTube, and we have to just go with what the creator that we are modding for wants, and take ourselves personally out of the mix.
Right. And a voice down under says, "Yeah, Tori, why aren't you speaking with the Canadian accent?" And I just explained it. I'm not doing it because I learned about it.
And
At least
also,
that's
Cricket, I've learned how to hide people very quickly, and that when there are multiple mods trying to hide the same person, we're all going to do it and unhide and hide all together.
really. There's people that hide and unhide at the same time.
Well, yeah, because the first one hides them, but if somebody else clicks before YouTube lets us know that somebody's already taken care of it, it actually unhides them, and then the next person hides them again. And it makes for a lot of fun for mods.
Yeah, I know Kelly has said it's a busy time. It
Yes.
is. I mean, it's a whole different, part of the house kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's the front part of the house, and then there's the back, and there's
Yes.
whatever.
Eric, if I were to cross the border and go to LA, I would absolutely be pleased to protest with Tori, but I have no intention of crossing the border at this point in time, and I'm going to leave it at that.
And I agree with you, and I say to everyone, don't come here now. It's like there's just no reason to. Who knows what this knucklehead will do next? And you don't want to be on this side of the thing and have them say, "Well, we've now shut down the borders," and that's it. You're an American.
I'm going to take the Canadian way out and say no comment. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to take the American way and comment and say, "Good job." Okay, so hi, Peter Anderson. Okay, hi, Peter. Will Scooter be angry if her Raptors drop out of the 6th seed and into the NBA playoff tournament?
The play-in tournament. Okay, so it's the Toronto Raptors, the basketball team, and several people in the movement understand that I am a diehard Raptors fan, and I'm even wearing the hat tonight, mostly because it's a bad hair day. I wouldn't be angry. I don't get angry at my boys. Because they're all mine. They're all my sons. I would be sad, but I would still wish them well in the play-in, even though I know that they're trying to get into the playoffs without having to do the play-in. tournament.
What is the sixth seed? Just so
It's
I don't know what that is.
it's this new thing that they brought in the last few years where if you're sitting on a certain level in terms of your scoring numbers, I think it's how it's worked out, in the basketball league, before the playoffs, to qualify to play in the playoffs against other teams, you have to go up against some of the others who are sitting right on that line. And whoever wins in a certain number of the games in the play-in tournament gets to move on into the playoffs and compete against all the top-rated teams
Wow.
for that season. And I'm not necessarily using the exact right terms,
It's okay.
but that's the gist of it.
But the sixth seed is what?
I'm sorry, the sixth seed. The sixth seed is I think it's the cutoff point. If you rank below the sixth seed, which is the rankings of all the teams in your, it's on your division, because we have the East Coast and we have the West Coast, as I knock my mic around and shake the computer. So we are currently sitting at the sixth seed placement for the East Coast teams. If we drop below that, we'll have to, and we stay below that, we'll have to play in the tournament to qualify for the playoffs.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yeah, it's
I
very
love
convoluted
basketball.
in my opinion. Sorry,
Pardon me?
I just said it's very convoluted in my opinion.
I like playing basketball. We had a basketball court in our backyard. And when years later, at the end of L. Ron Hubbard Way is it's now a hotel. It used to be Birthing. And way at the top is parking. And so I used to park up there when I was in Scientology once in a while, not all the time, but I did one time. And the Sea Org kids were there playing basketball and they were shooting hoops. And I said, give me the ball. And they go, you? And I said, yeah. And I was probably in my 50s at the time. And I said, yeah, give it to me. And I can go like this and go backwards and dunk it. And they were like, wow. But
Yeah.
my dad is in the Football Hall of Fame. He taught everybody on the block all the different sports. And our whole block was like super competitive. So
Yeah.
like when my last work job where I was, again, they were 20, 30-year-olds and they were going to have a ping pong contest. And so I put my name on it. And again, I was, I think 60 at the time. And they said, you? And I said, hell yeah. And I came in second. The only person who beat
Excellent.
me was this girl from China.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never look at someone and their age and assume that they're incapable. But my mother was playing tennis until her mid 80s. She only
Right.
switched over to pickleball during her 80s because it was a little easier on her to play pickleball instead of tennis. So
I want to learn pickleball. I do. I keep hearing about it, but I haven't learned it yet. It
you'd
sounds
probably like it. Yeah, the paddles are larger than the ping pong paddles, but it's very similar. But you're on a court, but it's a smaller court than a tennis court.
Right. Right. Okay, now this is a couple things. One Love says, I never heard of a play-in.
Yeah, it's new.
What does that mean? Play-in.
That's we're still going back to the basketball conversation.
Oh, okay. And then Peter Anderson said Raptors are 6th in the East, Lakers are 3rd in the West. All right.
Yep.
were happening. And Sieglin said they sure played the Detroit Pistons tough last night.
They
There you
did.
go. I'm all good and can hear you both clearly. All right. Gazarov. Did I say that right? Gazarov?
I don't know. I looked at it and saw Gazzaro, but
Oh, it could be Gazaro.
we've all got the right number of letters, so I have no idea.
And hi, Dylan. Let's see now. This was on top of the current parking garage. Yeah, I used to play a little up there at mealtime. He was in the seer, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was really fun to be able to do that kind of thing because people just
Well,
don't
sure.
expect it from someone that's older.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
My mother was a teacher. She was a music teacher for over 30 years.
Ah,
And none of her students expected her to be able to race them on the streets late at night after they had had a concert. So,
wow. But she could?
and she beat most of them. So,
Wow. Now, are you talking running or driving?
driving.
Driving. Wow, that's
Yes.
intense.
Hmm.
Ah,
Yeah.
I know we both had crazy moms. I mean, my mom was, I think, on a bowling league, where she was really good. She golfed all the time. That's how she found out how bad I was. That's how I ended up being sent to a girls' boarding school because she was
Mhm.
playing bridge and she was bitching about some girl that lived in the town. And all the ladies said, "Well, if you think she's bad, you should find out about your own daughter." And I came
Oh.
home and it was like, oh dear God. I thought my dad died or something. No, it was me. It was like, we found out about you and we're going to send you. And we were in Chicago in a suburb north in Lake Forest at the time. And she
Mhm.
said, we're going to send you to Kansas City, Missouri, which is where my grandparents lived. And she said, you're going to go to a girls' Catholic school, which I didn't like girls at all. And I was like, oh no. And it was like a prison. It was awful. It was really. I mean, this is how bad I was, though. Window ledge.
Yeah.
Okay, the nuns, because this was run by nuns, and I'm a night owl, right? You know that. So they would go at 9 o'clock. We had to all be in our bedroom with our lights out, and I just thought, you know what, forget it. So I would climb out on the window ledge. It's 4 stories up, and a brick building and I would just edge along the building down to my girlfriend's room, and we'd talk about boys all night.
Oh boy. Yeah. My mom used to tell stories about going to boarding school when she was a kid, and she made it all sound so wonderful. So I
Oh,
kept saying
really?
I wanted to go to boarding school. So
Oh,
she granted my wish in grade 7.
oh,
That was where I learned to smoke cigarettes. That was where I learned to sneak around.
right, right.
I was home and no longer enrolled in boarding school by Christmas.
Well, my mom made the mistake of leaving me there, so that was it. And they're as bad as Scientology as far as sending, promo every week. And I just kept throwing it out. So finally, they flew here from Kansas City, Missouri. And they
Wow.
said, we really want you to come to the reunions. And I had to take a girl who knew me really well. And I said, look, I'm not going to tell these other girls this, but this is what happened there. And I told her, and I said, you couldn't pay me $1 million to come back to one of your stupid reunions. No,
Yeah.
stop sending me shit. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's not going to happen. But it would have helped if they would have told my parents. But my mom I think she was overwhelmed. It was like, we don't know what to do with her. Leave her in with the nuns. They'll help her.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sure. That worked really well.
Oh, I can only imagine if they'd had nuns in our school. Oh, I
Oh,
would have been home within a month.
I could tell you stories your ears would burn off. It's like, oh, this is just the beginning with me walking out on a ledge. I figured,
Mm.
okay, I don't really care if I die anyway. So if I fall, I'm dead. And then I'm out of this stupid prison. And
Oh,
if I
yeah.
live, I get down to my girlfriend's room and she can tell me about boys because she knew all about boys.
Uh-huh.
It's a funny story. Did you happen to wear a Catholic? Of course. Yeah, I have it somewhere in my photographs as a Catholic with me in a Catholic uniform. Yeah, definitely. And this is Amy said my grandmother played bridge, the same one who told me to say thank you. You have good taste. If a guy said I was pretty, well, if the guy said he was pretty, say thank you. Yeah, bridge was a big thing back then. It really was.
Yeah,
For women, it was kind of like a way to get together. It's like
yeah,
men play poker and stuff like that, and then women play bridge. It's so funny the
yes.
difference in now and
Oh,
then.
yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, can you believe it with all the internet access? All of us, look at all these people from all over the world. It's so incredible. I mean, to me, it's so great. I love the internet. I really do. I don't care how much shit happens that's bad. It's like I went to my husband's mother in a nursing home and her sister who was in a nursing home. And all of them are just, take me home, take me home. They're just so lonely. Whereas
Yeah.
on the internet, I always tell people, get on the internet because you'll have friends forever. You know
Yes.
what I mean? It's
Well,
like,
I
what?
mean, that is certainly definitely possible, but then you also have people who, as much as I love my mother in my own way, you have people like her who will fall for any scam
Oh,
sent
there's
to
no
them.
question. There's no question. I mean, the bad part of it is really, really bad. But
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, if you stay out of that, and my friend runs a business with top celebrities, and these people call her and say, "I gave all my money to so and so." You know what I mean? And I want you to get it back. And she goes, "I don't have it. That wasn't a celebrity. That's just a con man that took your
Yeah.
money."
Yeah.
It's awful. So the negative is, of course, horrible. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. Everybody has to learn how to, navigate through con things. That's part of why I speak out. Because
Yes.
I can't tell you how many people we just sit there on Friday nights. I can't tell you how many people say, you know, we were going to join the Sea Org. They come back and go, "Thank you for telling us that. We were on our way to join the Sea Org," and that's a billion-year contract. It's hard to get out of.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Rib Guy.
Is Rip on here? Where is
Yeah,
he?
he's here as "Does It Matter to You, Not to Me"
Oh, doesn't matter to
46.
you, not to me. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, zoom, zoom, zoom for Scooter. There you go. I know. I'm happy to meet you. I didn't know you. I really didn't. This has been fun for me because Kelly's introducing a lot of new people, and then I get to interview them, and everyone's wonderful. Everyone that I've met, I really like.
Well, I mean, let's face it, we're also all on our best behavior because we all appreciate you. So,
Wow, come on. I
hey,
mean,
that's how I was raised. Even if I didn't like you, I would still be on my best behavior with you.
but you guys know me also, and if you're shitty, we'll just block you.
Yes.
It's like so. So I don't have a problem with it. It's like either you come and get along with everybody, or get blocked and go somewhere else and bitch about people. But it's not going
Mhm.
to be here. That's just the way I feel. And I've been
Exactly.
that way for 25 years. I have never. I mean, people used to call me. Dylan knows because he called me. He was one of the first people who called me because I put my phone number up there in 2000. thinking there were only
Mhm.
50 people on the internet.
No.
Wrong. And people called me all day, all night, with their stories. It was just amazing. And every person back then would say, you have to promise me, you have to swear to me, you won't tell my name. You won't say my name. You won't, everything. And
Yes.
and I, Spanky, right? She's in
Yeah.
Going Clear. So
Yes.
she's one of my dear friends. And she said to me way back then, don't say a word about me. Don't ever mention my name, ever. So now I was on this ex-Scientology site, in the chat board, and this guy comes in and he goes, Magoo, you're in Burbank. You must be near Spanky. And I said, okay, get into a private room. And I take him into a private room and I said, Spanky told me don't ever say her name. And he goes, Tori, I gave her that name. I'm the person who gave her the name. It's so funny.
Oh
So,
boy.
so funny.
But that's one thing that I have found, and I'm sure that people have found that with you as well, is that when they learn that they can trust you because you don't share things that
No.
they ask you not to share,
Yeah.
you learn so much more, and there's just a natural relaxation from them
Yeah,
because
it's safe.
they know that they're
It's a
not
safe
in
space.
danger with you.
Right. And I used to say to people, because back in the day in 2000, people were really, really paranoid. And they would say, Tori, you have to promise me this, that you're not going to say my name. And I'd say, okay, let's get something straight. The chances of me remembering your name are about a 0 to 1,000. There's no way.
Yeah.
I won't remember it in 5 minutes. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So they always had that extra feeling of, she's not going to remember.
Yes. See, I call it I have brain farts, and so I forget stuff all the time. So I
Right.
totally understand where you're coming from as well.
Well, mine was from having all those seizures. So
Yeah.
mine started in 72. And there went and luckily my mom heard it. And because
Yes.
she was the one who saved my life. Now, wait a minute. It says, what you see is what you get with me. All right. That's a voice down under. Who's Patty? Oh, Patty. There you go. Patty Jones. Patty Jonas. Do you know who Patty Jonas is?
Um, Not by that name, but hi.
Hi. Yeah. Everyone said hi. So that's nice. It's a good group
And
of people.
Rip Guy says, "Oh, Scooter, Tori can talk shit with the best of them. It hurts more because she does it with a smile." Yes.
But what does that mean? I can.
Um,
I mean, I can hold my own. This is a great story. I just told this to somebody recently. I it's about my car broke down and we went off and we were in a. Did you ever hear this story?
I'm not sure yet.
It was a bunch of big time hardcore gang members, and we
Oh.
pulled off and now we're surrounded by gang members, right? And my
Mhm.
son is like, oh dear God, and I'm like, don't worry. I got it handled. And I get out and I go, all right, everybody get over here, huddle. And so they all come over and I go, look, let's get something straight. And I know I'm screwed, right? And they go, yep. And I said, okay, so here's the deal. There's a Jack in the Box about 3 blocks down, 2 or 3 blocks. So my son and I are going to go down there. You tell me, I'm going to make a list of whatever you want to eat and drink, and I'll go get it. And you guys figure out a solution for me with this car. I can come tomorrow with my husband, but I can't afford to be towed tonight. And they said, okay, deal. So I went and got all the food. We brought it back. They said, they came together and they said, okay, we got a plan. And I said, okay, what's the plan? I would have never thought of this in a million years. And they said, well, if you leave your car here for 10 minutes, it's going to be stripped. So what we're going to do is you're going to put it in neutral, and then we'll push it down to Sears, which is about 3 blocks away. and then we'll push it upstairs into the parking lot, and there's a guard there. So he'll guard your car all night, and then your husband can come tomorrow and you can handle it then. So isn't
Wow.
that cool?
Yeah, very cool.
But
Very cool.
that's the kind of street smarts I have, where I'm good talking, like I'll always go talk to people. One of
Yeah.
my friends just told me he pulled a knife on some guy and showed him, I've got a knife. And the guy goes, well, I've got a gun,
Yeah.
It's like in LA, you gotta think differently than
Yeah.
guns and knives, because they do have better materials.
Yeah.
So you probably don't have that in where you are.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Toronto has certain areas.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I love Toronto. I thought it was really pretty.
I mean, it is, but we still have certain areas that are way out of the tourist path.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yeah.
now wait, let me street smarts are sometimes better than book smarts. Yeah. It
Yes.
definitely helps to have street smarts. And I kind of
Oh,
grew up
yeah.
with my dad teaching all the kids on the block. And he said, look, I'm going to teach you about bullies because you hang around with your brothers and a couple of the kids are bullies. And I said, okay, what?
Yeah.
And he said, here's the deal. You guys anybody can disagree with you. And as long as they sit down at the table, you're fine. But
Yeah.
if they won't sit down at the table with you, you get away from them because they're bullies and they don't care about you at all. And that was my final thought with Scientology. I thought I was on the data evaluators course, which is a big course they had about management. And I thought, you know what? Who's the why? You had to find the why. And I thought, they're the why. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
And we're all the people that were in there who don't know, because they're behind the wall. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought they're the bullies.
I will say I grew up with book smarts, but I learned my street smarts.
I'm the same.
I'm going to say mostly in my 20s.
Yeah, me too. Same thing.
I was more sheltered as a young child. I was daddy's little girl, and we did not grow up in the areas where you had to be more aware and
we didn't either. We were super safe, super safe, suburbs of Chicago. So this was just on my own once I started sneaking out, because they were like, you had to be in bed by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And I was like, all right, fine. I'll be in bed at 9 and I'm going to be out the window at 10 with my boyfriend.
I did that a couple of times myself.
We have our ways.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mine was a sliding glass door on my bedroom.
Oh, exactly. Eric says I'm making him hungry for Jack in the Box tacos. I love their food. I do too. I love their food. Don't talk about it. It'll get me hungry too. Amy, more applicable in real life. I missed what Amy said. Did you see what she
more
said?
adaptable in real life. Yeah, she said street smarts are
sometimes
maybe better than book smarts.
Yeah. Street smarts, juvie smarts, Sciento, stupidity, prison smarts, college smarts, life smarts. I've been around.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to you, not to me. I love that. Yeah, it's like once you've been around, you've been around the block, you know what you're doing. It's different. Okay, Kelly, you said night? You're saying night to who?
I think it's a continuation from, or sorry, a correction. She says, we used to sneak out the basement door for months until one night there was a note on the inside of the door that we pay the price if we opened it.
Ooh, wow.
Busted.
We used to sneak out the basement door. Oh, that's good. That's so funny how parents figure out tricks.
I never got caught.
There you
I
go.
literally never got caught. I
Right.
was also paranoid about getting caught. So my excursions out were actually pretty brief. Just enough to make an appearance and then make my way back
Right.
before I got checked on.
Yeah, well, Rib got asked, how many times did you get caught going out the window? And for me, never. You know, it was only the one time when the bridge ladies ratted on me. You know, if they hadn't ratted on me, I would have been fine. But it ratted me out. It's awesome. So they never really caught me going out of the windows. And I mean, I was bad. I'd get out and drink and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's crazy, really crazy.
My mother never knew until I told her myself once I was safely out from under her rule, raising my own daughters.
Yeah, that's a big one. I used to pray not to have daughters. That's how bad I was. I was like, dear God, don't give me a daughter. Because I knew me. I'm insane. I knew I would follow her around everywhere she went. You're going on a date? You want to take my daughter on a date? Fine. I'll be right behind you for the whole night. I don't care. I'll sit outside. You're going to go party, go party. Wait a minute. You're on too long. Oh, get her out here. It would have been awful. It would have been a nightmare. So luckily I had a son.
Well, I like to tell my daughters that I was so stubborn as a kid that the higher power said I can't do that to one being again, so I'm going to split it between two.
Wow.
And then dump them all on the same person.
And you had twins?
I do. They're fraternal twins.
Wow.
Yes.
I always thought that it'd be cool to have twins. Now, fraternal means they're not identical, right?
Right. But they do actually, mine do look a lot alike.
Really?
In fact,
and do they mimic each
my
other and
OB
stuff?
They're very, I raised them as individuals and gave them permission from the beginning to have different likes and dislikes. And so they're very different. They have some similarities, but
Right.
they're very different established personalities.
Right.
But yeah,
That's good. That's good.
they both are extremely stubborn.
And they're the exact same. Which one's a little bit older?
My oldest one is she's
Like 10 minutes older?
you
or
would
something?
think that she was the younger of the two. she's a little less quick to talk back, to mouth off, but once she gets going, that's it. But the other one, who is a lot more like me as an adult, like that's the funny thing about the two of them. My older one is like me when I was a kid, well-mannered, polite, slower to respond with a smart mouth. My younger, by a whole 9 minutes, is so much more like me as an adult, which is a problem.
Right. Now, Style Audit says the first time Scooter ever featured one of my clips, I was so excited I ran out the front door to some people walking dogs waving their cell phones, screaming, "I'm an international celebrity!"
Oh, Style.
That's so cute. I love that. And Amy's an identical twin. Wow, that I always thought that'd be really fun.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, I imagine from observing my daughters, it could be fun, but on the other hand, it might also get a little old sometimes.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like it. I've listened to a lot of interviews of identical twins, and they seem to have an incredible just they get along. Most of them, maybe not, but at least what you see, what they
Yeah.
show. All right. One Love says, I never got caught sneaking out, but I got caught several times climbing back in the window. Well, that's the same thing. You got caught.
Hmm. You just weren't
Okay.
doing it right because, you got caught.
I had my boyfriends, and it was like my boyfriend and his friends. My parents had a big patio in the place where, not where I grew up, but where they moved to. They moved and built their dream house, which is where I turned into a nightmare. But because I lost all my friends, it was like we
Sure.
moved in sophomore year. It was a bad move, and my dad died up there. But now I forgot what I was going to tell you. What was I telling you?
That something about your boyfriends.
Oh yeah, they would. So they had this big patio, and they'd have these big dance parties, right? So they're all out there dancing, and the guys come up on the roof, and they're rolling beer cans down onto the dancing people, and I'm like, stop doing that! I'm gonna get killed. It was just crazy, really crazy. I mean, it was really crazy times. Like my oldest brother is now in his 80s, and he was a big science freak, and we talk about it all the time because he said, Tori, I had enough shit. I could have blown up the entire block,
Oh,
because
geez.
mom would take me down thinking it was a science experiment when I'm really making things. He was making these little bombs and stuff, and like spit bombs and stuff like that. And he said I had enough stuff I could have blown up not only our house but neighbors and stuff like that. It was scary.
Oh.
But we said,
Yeah,
people
they used to sell those science kits
right.
with not even a thought to what could happen.
No. And we used to hook, because Chicago, it snows over, probably like where you are too, and it freezes over sometimes. So we would
Mhm.
catch the buses and just ride on the back of the buses on the frozen streets. I mean, the stuff we did, you just think, oh my God, people would never believe it. I said, you should write a book about all the stuff we did. I'm a
Yeah.
twin A. We were a C-section, so we're seconds apart. That's Amy.
Yeah.
Wow, seconds. That's amazing. I was short, and it was so hard climbing back in the window. One Love says.
I'm sorry.
JB808's laughing at us. Okay, Eric, my brother's kids are fraternal twins. Okay, they're a boy and a girl. Their names are Jackson and Madison, and Jackson is the oldest by 16 minutes. Wow, when he was born. That's so amazing. It's so amazing that it's just like minutes.
Yeah, but 16 minutes is a long 16 minutes.
True.
9 was long.
Yeah. I never realized how long a minute was until someone said make a video for TikTok under a minute. So I had my son timing it, and we were like, good Lord. It felt like it took an eternity.
Yeah.
So 16 would be a lot. Yeah, you're right.
And by the way, I'm really impressed with you doing your your TikTok videos. I still cannot figure out TikTok, but I also don't really care to.
I don't know how to either. Someone was helping me and they stopped. So I don't know how to put them up. I don't. I want to do more, but I don't know how. I don't know how to do it. And I looked on YouTube and it's so complicated the way the YouTube guys have it because they're making money making it complicated. You know, so
Right.
I'm trying to find someone that goes, look, like someone did recently. They said you just hit the plus sign and put it up. So we'll see.
Okay.
I'll probably try it. I have to just get my courage up because I had this other person helping me. But they were a big help. They really were.
Yeah.
So Jackson and Madison are both 8. Oh, I have twins, a dog, and a cat with the exact same markings. Wow. This has been an interesting night. We found out about all these twins. Who
Yes.
knew?
Well, I mean, if we're talking pets, I have another set of twins. My floof.
What are
They're a
they?
boy and a girl.
And they're
One is
cats or
beige
dogs?
and one is black. They're cats.
Oh, they're cats. I love cats. I used to have cats for a long, long time. I just couldn't handle it. Elvis was my last cat, and
Mhm.
we always had indoor outdoor cats. And
Yeah.
my vet said now you can't have them indoor outdoor. They have to live inside. And
Yeah.
I can't do that. It's really weird. It's just one of those things where I just feel like, I mean, maybe I could get a little leash and go take them for a walk, but it seems a little weird.
No, I actually have seen people leash train their cats.
Really?
So, I mean, it does work. Cats are actually trainable, some of them.
Right.
I won't say all of them because
Right.
cats will be cats.
Right.
But I mean, it is possible. All of my cats have been strictly indoor cats.
Yeah.
Because it's too dangerous. They have a much shorter lifespan when
That's what he
they're
said
allowed
with
to
the
go
coyotes.
outside
They've all
wander
come
around.
out of the mountains and they're here in Burbank. And you see them and they're just like, okay, what? You know, you drive up to them and you're like, what are you doing here? You know, get out of here. And they're like, oh, I'm taking a walk. You know, I'm a
Yeah,
coyote.
exactly. Well, we've had coyotes in the city quite a bit too, and they've gone after a lot of small dogs.
Right.
We had a coyote in downtown Toronto that took up residence just last year. And
Wow.
it had to be, I believe it was tranquilized and removed from the city, but they were saying if that didn't work, they were going to have to make more drastic plans
Oh,
because if it found its way back again, then it would keep on doing that. So, but there have been a lot of pets that have been attacked and I'll say unalived for YouTube uh, by coyotes. So that is one reason. Another reason is that you just never know who's out there that doesn't like cats
right.
and or sees them as something to further their own issues on. And then there are the people who are superstitious about black cats, and I have had 2 black cats in my lifetime so far.
I have
Actually,
too.
that's not including the ones I fostered, so that would be 4, I believe.
All right, now here's a question from JB808, and after this, I want you to give us your how they can sign up for you. And Sieglin asked about that. She wants to come to your site, and everybody should go subscribe there. And the other thing is, Kelly put a link up there. It's up
Yes.
higher if you want to look for it, Sieglin. But first of all, let me ask this question from JB808. Question for you both. how important is the dynamic between Never Ends and former Scientologists and exposing Scientology? You're on the air.
Okay. Well, from a never-end standpoint, thank you, Sieglin. From a never-end standpoint, I would say that it's. I think that it there can and should be a mutual appreciation. Most of us never ends, I'm going to assume, sorry, because I know about assuming, but the never ends that I have talked with about this, we have all said that by learning stories from former Scientologists, we became educated about it and wanted to do something about it. So you all were our inspiration.
Right.
So it's not that we want you out there cheerleading us, or I'll say from my standpoint, it's not that I expect you to be, cheerleading me or constantly coming to my channel and saying, yay, thank you, blah, blah, blah. But just have an appreciation for the general effort by the Never Ends, who are sticking with this, joining your fight to end the abuses of Scientology, or to end Scientology, whichever is the preference. Because some people want to bring the whole thing down. Some people just want to end the abuses. I'm not saying which one is better. I do have an opinion, but I'm not saying that makes me right or wrong. I'm just stating that I understand that there are two different views on it.
Right.
When I have heard the odd former Scientologist say, "You Never Ends wouldn't be anything without us former Scientologists,"
Someone said that?
that irritates me to no end, because that devalues the time that we have spent learning from you,
right?
You in general, to join the fight because we agree with you about Scientology.
Right.
So that's my opinion.
I think it's important. I mean, it's like, how important is the dynamic between Never Ends and former Scientologists and exposing Scientology? To me, it is monumental. The critics and the Never Ends are monumental because number one, they're not brainwashed. So they think of things that we would never think of. I mean, I can tell you some examples, but I mean, it's just amazing some of the stuff that people come up with. Number two is they're just, it's like body volume. Like one time Scientology had, they have Celebrity Center there, and they started a restaurant. And my husband used to work at Chasen's. Have you ever heard of that? It was a really fancy restaurant for celebrities and stuff. So they asked him to come over and figure out, why is it empty? And he said, okay, number one, because they said, we want to be a 5-star restaurant. He said, okay, number one, no 5-star restaurant has children in it. So get rid of the kids. Number two, you are way charging way too much money for your public. The public are students on course, and you're charging $40 for lunch. You know what I mean? So people aren't going to come. Mm-hmm. And he said, number three is everyone loves a crowded restaurant. No one wants to go into an empty restaurant. And it's kind of the same. I feel the same. It's like everyone coming on to every single site that's what I've said for 25 years. Every voice counts. Every voice, for many reasons. But it's like it just, I can't tell you how many people that have never been in have helped me, and it's tremendous. So to me, it isn't just like, oh, it's a little bit. and people that would put someone down, F them. You know, that's just ridiculous. That's really truly destructive. And I would think probably that person works for OSA, because I don't think any real ex-Scientologists, and if they do, they're really jerks. You know, who wants to be around them anyway?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the way I feel. I'm pretty strong about it, as you can see.
Yeah.
But
I think anyone can get defensive, and I think sometimes some are responding to certain people who I'm not going to name, who have tried to infiltrate the former Scientologists, the ex-Scientologists, whatever they want to call themselves. I used to call them survivors, but I understand that not everyone appreciates being called a survivor. So,
right.
And so because of that, maybe a little bit of the pushback is coming from, listen, you are not one of us. You don't get to say what we do and don't do, kind of thing. I mean, it could be that. I'm guessing, because I'm not a mind reader. I try to be perceptive, but I'm not always on the mark.
Well, Mark Bunker is always my first example, and he would come with me when I would give talks in 2000, and I would forget, is it you know, like what's the thing for Paula Cooper? What's the name of her? Operation Freak Out is one of them, and the other one is, what is it? Operation Freak Out, and
the lovely Miss. Oh
no, that's a book. Anyway,
sorry.
I would forget it, and Bunker would know it, right? And so,
Right.
but then he would say stuff that was wrong, and so I would take him aside afterwards, and I'd say, "Look, it's this, it isn't that."
Right.
And he really
Gotcha.
paid attention, and he would learn, and now he's like one of the best, you know, activists as far as doing interviews. He knows so much stuff, and that's spending time with people and learning, you know, and like I said, you know, it's someone saying that is just ridiculous. That, oh, you know, you guys, we don't need you. Really? How many people would be on the internet, you know, speaking out about Scientology without the critics and the never ends? I mean, they're the majority of, really, they're the most.
Snow White.
Huh? Snow White?
Snow White was the other operation.
Yeah. Yeah, Paulette is a great person. I met her in person here, and she's.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why, but I always thought of her as a big person. You know, I guess because of all the stuff that's happened to her, and she's handled it.
Yeah.
But she's little tiny. She's really actually a very small person, but she's fun. She's really a fun person.
Yeah, I bet.
So Sieglin said you're very much appreciated for you, and you are. That's true.
Thank you.
And AGT Mom, in fairness, the anti-Scientology movement has always included never ends. That's correct. Agree, AGT Mom, really, it can't be done without public support. Yeah, it can't. It just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
All right, perfectly said. All right, and fighting DM is the key. Well, okay.
I mean, I will. Sorry, I will just say, when I look at somebody like Audit LA, who has all of her political experience, and she brings that to the movement, where would the call-in crew be? Where would any of the advances that they have made be without her leading that particular angle? Because that's one of her strengths.
I know, it is so fun to be on L. Ron Hubbard Way and have her say, "Get off the street." You know, you know, these are protesters, and they have protest rights. So get off the street. You're not allowed to hassle us. And So the other night, Friday night, they had it all set up for L. Ron Hubbard's birthday, and Laura and Audit LA came and got them all inside. We were around the corner, so then we came around the corner, and I thought, well, they owe me $1 million anyway. I'm going to sit at their table. So I sat down at the table. And sat down at the table, and they didn't
Yes.
talk.
Yeah.
It looked like they and each person that gets more and more educated on them, the more powerful we are. And
Yep.
because you never know who has a connection to who. Like Audit LA is a perfect example of just going down to, the city hall or city council, and she's really made a change where we used to. And Drew and Peter and I know because we've protested for years, and we used to just wherever we were, they'd come over there on their bikes and say, "Get out of here! You're trespassing." Did you ever see Field of Dreams?
Oh, yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so remember at the end, he puts his hand through the corn, testing it. Like they say, "Why don't you come with us?" And he puts his hand through the corn. Okay, so now I show up at Scientology, and they have like a line, just like a thin line, and they go, "You can't step over this line. It's trespassing, and we'll call the police." So I would put my toes over the line, just sort of like Field of Dreams, right?
Yep.
But that was back then. Now you see Audit LA going, "Get out of here!" We're protesting. And I'm like, wow, really great, really great.
Yeah.
So that's someone who was never in. So that would have never happened. I mean, the stuff that we can do now, we wouldn't have been able to do without her and a bunch of other people. So it's
Absolutely.
the
Test center would constantly have had their doors open all the time. They would never have discussed it or discovered automatically frosting windows, had it not been for all the protesters.
Right. And Style Audit says everyone has something to contribute. Would you have told White not to protest during the civil rights movement?
Exactly.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, now Love, I can't say the last part, says, that's crazy. Her dad is a gourmet chef, and I grew up in hotels with the best of them. Who is she talking about? Do you know?
Oh, that was going back to the chef
Paulette?
story that you were telling a few minutes ago.
Oh, that's crazy. My dad is a gourmet chef. Okay. And okay, so you know about hotels. And an empty restaurant they immediately cut down the price of it, made things cheaper, made them, and it filled up, and, there you go.
Sorry, Tori, I'm just switching from my headphones to my earbuds here.
Wow, her dad won the Chef Olympics. I didn't even know they had the Chef Olympics. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. I'm just trying to get this going here.
Okay, a voice down under guessing who it is. Come on, tell us who it is. If he won the Chef Olympics, who is it? Do you know who it is?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Come on, tell us. Mark Bunker's first video for running a week ago is awesome. Oh, good. He's already started. Good. Snow White. That's right. T. Bunker, Andreas, Anonymous, etc. Freak Out was Pauline. Okay. All right. A voice down under. We want to advocate, and that's why we listen and share people's stories. Awareness is key if you want to grow the movement and get stuff done. Well said. Well said. And this is Sunrise Joy Learn Daily. All right, that's good. We have early protests and early videos of Tori, thanks to Mark Bunker. That is so true. I mean,
Hmm.
Bunker interviewed everybody, and for years. I mean, we have thousands of interviews because of him. So that was, but he was paid by Bob Minton. I mean, Minton hired him to do that. But it was very valuable. He won an Emmy. I went down to San Diego to hear. He invited me. He said, "You want to come down? I'm going to get an Emmy." And so
Wow.
I said, "Sure." So I think it was an Emmy or it was some kind of an award um, for editing. And so
Oh,
we go
okay.
down there, and afterwards I said, "Well, you must be in the Bucks now." And he goes, "Are you kidding me?" And I and I said, "Yeah, you just won an Emmy or whatever it was." And he said, "Tori, they know there's a line around the block of kids that'll, you know, work for much less than I will because they want to have the same thing to put on their resume."
Right.
It's an
Yeah.
education for me. I love calling in and being part of the call-in crew. Okay, I don't know what the call-in crew is. I don't even know what that is.
I call the call-in crew is the group of people who call in to all the public works and police meetings.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize there was a whole crew of people that did it. I knew a few people had because they were
Yeah.
from other countries and they
Yes.
call in. Yeah.
Well, I had to call them something, so I started calling them the call-in crew on my
Oh,
show.
oh. Well, that's really cool. How many people would you say it is?
I think it varies from time to time, and of course it also depends on how many people they'll let speak. But there are I don't honestly know, but I'm guessing there are at least 8 or 9 people who regularly try to call at least.
Good, good. Well, good. I'm glad to know that. Thank you. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Now, there is Snyder. Okay, Tori, that was something on Friday night when the LA police showed up after you'd left. Audit LA complimented the officers for being so professional. I saw that. I saw that on a video. Yeah, they were going to come arrest me because I was sitting at the table.
Oh,
It's like I
wow.
would have gone, "Give me a break. Go get." Like I said 2 years ago with the Easter thing, when they had that big blockade, and
I
I went
remember.
through it, and
Mhm.
they had the women police officers on this side, and the men were on this side, and the men were screaming at me, and I went over to the ladies and I said, "Look, here's the deal. They owe me $1 million, and I'm only allowed to talk to one person who has not talked to me in 24 years or 23 then." So I said,
Mhm.
"So either go in and get me my $1 million and I'll leave, or get the IJC and have them come out." And all the lady officers went like this to the men: "Leave her alone."
I did not see the police response to that, but I did see you pushing your luck at the barricade there, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
sitting,
No, you couldn't
watching,
see.
cheering you on.
I know that's why I wanted to tell people because they couldn't see the police behind the barrier, but they
Yeah.
were when they said leave her alone. I loved it. I thought perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're crazy though. They really are. All right, now the Tampa A says you and Mark are the matriarchs and patriarch we all need. Oh, well, that's nice. And Amy says, I call in from New Jersey. I'm Jill.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, I interviewed someone who was from another country. It might have been a voice down under. I forget who it was. It was somebody, but they called from another country, and I said, "Really? You can call into the city council here?" And they said, "Yep, we can, and we
Or
do."
it might have been Miriam. Have you talked to
That's
Miriam
right. I
as
think it
well?
was Miriam. I think it
Yeah.
was. That's right. I call in when I'm in the UK. Okay, a voice down under says that when she's in the UK, she calls that. Okay. Jamie Mustard's last call-in was so meaningful. Very. Did you ask
Yeah.
where's Shelley? Hi, y'all. Hi, Marissa. Martin PDX. Okay. And AGT Mom says they owe you $1 million. They do. Because the policy says, Hubbard wrote this, and he said, if they don't like it, get rid of them. Give them their money back and get them out of here. So they owe me at least $1 million. And with interest, they owe me way more than that.
Yeah, I
So,
was going to say, don't forget that interest.
yeah, the interest, they owe me way more than that. So anyway, yeah, they do. And I love to remind them of it. You know, it's like when they first put my name up on Religious Freedom Watch, one of my best friends who's still in, her son said, you don't want to know what they're saying about you, Tori. And I said, no, I do. And he said, no, you don't. And I said, look, I do. Just tell me one thing. And he said, well, my mother's spreading around to everyone that you had an affair. And I said, really? And I called her up. I said, you, you know, you have an affair. You come over to my house and tell me who I had an affair with. So, of course, she changed her phone number. So then I started going around to the different orgs saying, okay, you may not know this, but your church is saying that I had an affair. And I'd like to meet whoever I had an affair with. So could you pass that on to your boss? You know, and I just kept going org to org to org. And
Yeah.
I mean, one of the guys on YouTube said they took it off. And they never changed anything, but they took it off. Because people probably were like, you know, well, did she or didn't she? You know, if she did, let's figure out who it is. And I didn't.
Yeah.
So there you
And
go.
if she didn't, why is somebody saying that she did?
Right. I've called in from Australia and England. Wow, that's amazing. That's a voice down under. And Aloha JB808 says T and Miriam. Okay, good.
Yes.
And Miriam speaks well on those calls. Well, that's good.
I think
Voice,
everyone does. I mean,
yeah,
anyone can get tongue-tied on a call. Anyone
sure.
can get tongue-tied speaking to a camera on the internet. It happens, no matter how often you may have done it.
Yeah.
It happens. But most of the time, everybody is really focused, and they're really good at getting the point across in that limited amount of time. And I've heard your calls in too, Tori, so don't leave yourself out of the call-in crew.
Wow. I don't know when to do it. I have to get somebody who tells me when we're supposed to do it.
Yeah, I think Antics has been keeping track of that. Antics of a Mama Squirrel.
Okay. All right. I'll find out from her. But thank you. Thank you. And sometimes Voice Down Under says sometimes if I can't sleep, I call in too because it happens at 1 a.m. when I'm in Australia. Good. Do you remember which policy Hubbard says that about going? I don't. I really don't. But I remember reading it and thinking, because I read it when I was in, and I thought, wow, give them their money back, get rid of them. You know, it stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Just as like that's sort of creepy, but you know, it showed where he was at, and no, I don't remember the policy of it. I don't remember. Thankfully, I don't remember most things in Scientology anymore. And every time I can't, I'm like, good. That's another good thing I can't remember.
Yeah.
So, I get very tongue-tied. Oh, okay. A Voice Down Under does.
You know what though, T? Words are hard. And they can be hard for everyone. So
I'll tell you, I did a thing called Toastmasters. Have you ever heard of that?
no, I don't think I have.
It started in the early 1900s with men, and they had the same fears everybody else does on speaking. So they started a group called Toastmasters to teach people how to speak in front of a group. So I did it. I joined and I did it. And you know, the first thing they do is an ah counter. And most people go, well, I did this and then I did that And so they count all those. And then at the end, they go, well, you had 35 ahs. So do it again and try to get less. And you just keep doing it. And, pretty soon you get better at it. And they have all these little tips for speaking that help,
Mm,
that really help.
yeah.
They're really great. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm terrible for it. And I hear myself do it, and it distracts me and throws me off. So then I end up doing it more. So it's terrible.
Well, I remember for kids, I used to teach little kids. And when they had to read out loud, I mean, a lot of people have trouble reading out loud. So we would say, envision it in your head first. Like think of what you want to say and then say it. Because a lot of people just start talking and then that's when you get all fumbly about it. But
Yeah.
if you think it through and can envision it, then you can say it. It's really interesting. Ahs and ums. That's right, Amy. I
Yep.
thought Toastmasters was a group to talk about toast. No, it's about speaking, and it's international. They had a comedy thing as one of their things, and because I'd done all that bull baiting, you've heard of bull baiting in the
Oh, yeah.
TRs,
Yep.
and I had been out working, and anyway, it's a long story, but this one story was so funny. I started bull baiting people on it, and it was called The Sufferer, which was an old man who said, "You never suffered. When did you ever suffer?" Right? He had this whole thing. So every person that I would bull bait, they would say, "Do the Sufferer," and they would crack up and crack up and crack up, and finally they'd get it where they could do it. So now this comedy thing comes up on Toastmasters, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do the Sufferer. I mean, I don't think I'll win, but it'll be funny. I
Mhm.
go and I do it and I win. And now I go to the next place and I go, and I don't bring my friends or my husband because I think small chance. I go to the next one. They're much funnier, and I win again.
Oh,
So now
wow.
the third one is they're all making fun of Toastmasters, and I have to tell the Sufferer story. And I'm like, oh, this is so stupid. But the part of the rules is you can't change the story. So anyway, I tell it and I win. So now a lady calls me here and she goes, look, you're about to go international. If you win at the next one, you're going international. I said, really? I mean, I couldn't
Mhm.
believe it because the third one, they were like Billy Crystal and stuff. They were really funny.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, not literally him, but comedians that were that good. So
Right.
now I'm out at LAX and I do bring all my friends and my son and my husband and everything. And they're all in one round table. And all the rest are like these 90, 100-year-old people. They've been in Toastmasters forever. And I
Mhm.
start in with, it's an old man with no teeth. And you could see him, so what? I don't have any teeth either. And I bombed out completely.
Oh, no.
But it was an experience. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I've been to a few Toastmaster meetings. Okay, good, Amy. We had to speak in front of a class, in speech class. I begged my teacher to let me write a paper instead. That's from Sunrise Joy, Learn Daily. Yeah,
Mhm.
speaking can be difficult. That's why I thought I might as well do it, because you're going to speak all through your life. So to me,
Yeah.
if you're younger, do Toastmasters. It's fun. It's a good group of people. And like I took another friend of mine to a Toastmaster thing and we both went, forget it. It was like AA or something. And I said, no, this isn't what you want. So it's like Weight Watchers. You have to find a group that you're comfortable with, that you
Sure.
like. But they're all around the world. They are. And if you're
Yeah.
younger, why not learn how to speak? They'll pay
Yeah.
you. What the
That's what
hell?
I'm doing wrong. Hmm.
What'd you say?
I
What'd you
said
say?
that's what I'm doing wrong.
You're not getting paid?
No.
Well,
I didn't get into it to get paid, so I'm really, I'm not worried about that at all.
I know. I know. What do you do the rest of the time?
uh, hmm. Well,
And
I
you don't have
do
to say it
also. No,
if you don't
no,
want
it's
to say.
okay. I was trying to narrow it down between what I actually do focus on, but also what I do for recreational, which we're not going to go into today. But I also advocate as a senior Canadian vapor for nicotine
Oh,
vaping here,
ah,
because there are a lot of there's a lot of misinformation that's spread by people who should know better in the
right.
medical community and the heart and lung foundations and et cetera, et cetera. And so there's a small group of us who are we say senior, but like over 50-ish. Those of us who might have a little seasoning in our hair, who who try to keep reminding the Canadian government that it's not only about stopping the kids from vaping, it's
Right.
also about providing a very valid way to stop smoking cigarettes and stay off of cigarettes. So that's the other thing that I do in my free time.
Good. Good, 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 good. Well, it's really been fun talking to you. I've really enjoyed it.
I've really enjoyed it too.
Good. Yeah, we'll have to do it again. Now, Mama Cat says, "Hey, Toria, I haven't caught you live in a while. So good to see you." Many people say that. I think what it is I'm under the live. You have to click on live. So they just see the
Yeah,
regular videos and this doesn't go to that. You know what I mean? So I'm on
right.
a lot. It's just people, and that's fantastic, Scooter. Wow. Sunrise Joy Learn Daily said that to you.
Yeah, I
That's
see that. Thank
fantastic.
you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for helping calling in too. That's really,
Oh,
again, a very
I don't do
important
the
person.
call-ins. I'm not up early enough for the call-ins.
Me neither. That's
I
why
just
I'm,
promote them.
well, but see, that helps. That's what I'm saying. Every voice matters. Because
Yes.
if you just promote it, that's people that will, that are like, I'm up at 5 in the morning. Okay, yeah, I'll call in. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to sign up for notifications. AGT Mom says you have to sign up for notifications. Is that for calling? She's
No,
saying,
that's for to get notified when you go live.
or you, because people are signing up at your site. Now, did you give us your site?
Yes, Kelly's been posting it in the chat quite a bit.
Okay.
And there she
Pound
goes.
Stop Scientology. Oh,
Yeah,
I thought it,
it's Scooter's anti-cult report, but I have the Stop Scientology banner
oh, that's
and
good.
one of my cats
Oh,
as my little icon.
yeah. Pretty cat.
Thank you. That's our Biscuit. He's part Bengal and he's a terror, but he's also
Ah,
adorable.
very adorable. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody who came on tonight. And thank you, Kelly, as always, for being my moderator.
And
Keeping it
thank you for
going.
having me.
You are welcome. Thank you for coming on. It was good talking to you and fun to hear all about your life.
Well, thank you. Okay, I'm going to let you go and talk to your chat. Good night.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else to say. We're going to end off. We're going to end the stream. Ooh, I guess she already ended off. All right. Well, anyway, good night to you guys. Thank you very much. And there you go.